There's a season for certain fruits, or you could say it's like, we say spooky season sometimes in the United States. Spooky season's
spooky,
like around Halloween, like around the time,
spooky.
spooky season, So like spooky, like ooh, like that happens around late October. That's spooky season. Yeah.
Right. Welcome back to IELTS TRANGBEC again. Today we come to a very popular topic and it's quite easy. It's about weather. I mean, who doesn't love talking about the weather? It's also the kind of small talk, right? And again, I'm very lucky today again to be with Dan, who is
from Colorado in the United States, and I am training to be a therapist.
Right, okay, so I want to ask Dan some very basic question about weather, IELTS speaking part 1. So make sure you listen and take note some keywords that he's trying to deliver. Right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's
get cracking.
Yeah, okay. Right, so do you prefer dry or wet weather?
I grew up near New York City, where it is generally quite wet, like it's very humid. And so I moved to Colorado when I was about 23, which has a much drier climate. Initially, I much preferred that because, in the summer when it's hot, it's not as hot when the air is not very wet. And in the winter, it's not as cold for the same reason. But I think at this point, I would prefer to be in a wetter climate because I'm just a bit tired of living in a high desert where it's pretty dry all the time. I don't know, it feels weird in your skin. You get out of the shower and you feel like a mummy,
Look like a mummy?
You feel like a mummy. Like your skin is all dry and you feel like you need to cover your...
So like in New York, you was born there and it's wet weather. But
yeah.
when you move to Colorado, it's dry. So now you prefer dry weather.
I prefer dry weather, but I think now I'm at the point that I am starting to miss wetter climates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, more humid climates.
So actually, Dan is traveling throughout Vietnam, and he visited both Hanoi and Saigon, and then a huge difference in the climate between Saigon and Hanoi.
Yes.
So which do you prefer in terms of weather?
Hanoi. Yeah. Saigon is, for me, just a little overwhelmingly hot.
Overwhelmingly hot.
I struggled with the heat a little bit. It was a little
roasting.
It was repressive. Yeah,
it was what?
Repressive. Like I felt I could not do anything. Repressive.
Repressive.
Yeah.
I think that because actually Dan visited Saigon like how long ago?
Maybe 5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago, which is in April in Saigon, which is unfortunately is the hottest time in Saigon. Oh. It's not the hottest time in Saigon, but this year Saigon suffered like really extreme heat. Okay. Like really intense heat. Whereas, but actually the hot in Saigon is like the dry hot. The dry hot is mean you don't feel how to say sticky.
Yeah. Dry heat.
You don't feel sticky. Whereas the weather in Hanoi is like it's very like how to say you feel like
you feel sticky. You feel
high humidity level is a word. High humidity level. Yeah. So actually, I prefer the heat. No, I don't prefer the heat. But I mean like the kind of hot weather in Saigon. I think is more tolerable.
Yeah,
to me personally. But in Hanoi, because like really high humidity level, and you always feel like very sticky. Can we say sticky?
You can say sticky.
Sticky and wet.
Or wet. Feel like a dolphin.
Feel like a dolphin. Yeah. So how come you miss the wet weather?
Because it's not quite as hot in the New York area. So although it is a little bit wetter or more humid, it's A, not as humid as here, and B, it's not as hot. So I think it's just like it feels better on your skin. Like you don't feel dry all the time. In Colorado, you feel like you have to bathe in moisturizer just to feel normal.
You have to what?
Bathe in moisturizer.
Bathe in moisturizer. You have to use a lot of
use a lot of moisturizer. Yeah.
He's challenging my English because I'm getting used to more the English way of saying it. But okay, let's move to number 2.
Okay.
So what kind of weather do you like most?
That is a tough one for me.
Why?
Because I like all kinds of weather for different reasons. I love the winter. where I'm from because it will snow a lot and I love to ski. I love the summer because it's just lovely to like be outside and be enjoying the warm weather and wear a t-shirt and not have to worry about putting on a coat. I love the spring because it's after the winter and it's the first time it starts to feel warm. And then I love the fall because after 3 months of heat in the summer, it starts to be cooler during the day and that feels really pleasant. So that's a very roundabout way of saying I like a lot of different kinds of weather, but I think if I had to pick one, it would probably be, Celsius. I don't do Celsius, but maybe like 15 degrees and sunny during the day.
That's autumn.
Yeah, like 10 to 15 and sunny.
That's
is
awesome.
really nice. Yeah, we call that crisp, like a crisp day. Like crisp. Yeah.
Crisps. Pronunciation. Crisps.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, but not plural, singular. Crisp. Crisp day.
Crisp weather.
Yeah.
Crisp. Like 15 degrees Celsius.
Maybe like 10 actually is better.
10, that's cold. In Hanoi, 10 degrees Celsius, like freezing cold.
Yeah,
the high humidity level.
Yeah.
So Dan just become too greedy. He loves everything.
I do.
He loves both 4 seasons. And guys, can you notice that he used the word fall? He didn't say autumn. So autumn is like in the UK, and fall, American people say.
It's true. We also use autumn, but you're right. Fall is like our default.
More American.
Yeah.
I just noticed when you answer like that. Right. So very strange. They ask you, what's your favorite season? Because I feel like weather. So what's the difference between weather and season?
Well, weather is more temporary, right? Like weather could be just what's happening right now, whereas season is a longer period of time. And typically when you say season, you refer to one of the 4 seasons, at least the 4 seasons that we have in North America. I know in other places you might have more like 2 seasons. But season also could be like, you could say it's strawberry season, right? It just means like it's the time that strawberries are being produced, or it's apple season. It's the time that apples are being produced.
So weather it means that it just. So weather it means what is happening now. But season is like summer, spring, autumn, and winter.
Yeah, I mean, like weather's more like temporary. Like what's the weather, or what will the weather be like at a given time, right? At a moment in time. Whereas season refers to a longer period of time that's usually like set and recurring, right? So like there's always a fall season that always happens, right?
So like fixed, yeah.
Yes, but it's not just the 4 seasons. It's also like there's this, like I said, there's a season for certain fruits, or you could say it's like, we say spooky season sometimes in the United States. Spooky seasons like around Halloween, like around the time, spooky season, So like spooky, like like that happens around late October. That's spooky season. Yeah.
Right. So back to the question again. What's your favorite season? Don't say I love 4 seasons. Again.
I can't say all 4. I will say spring. I really like the spring. Yeah, it is a break from the winter. The days are starting to get longer. We have daylight savings in the United States, so we have this moment where all of a sudden it is, instead of getting dark at like 5 p.m., it gets dark at 6 p.m., like it jumps forward. And so that time of year where it's starting to get warmer and there's more daylight at the end of the day and you're not going home in the dark, like I love that time of year.
Also like spring also is, you feel like it's the start of something new?
Yes,
because it's a new
the time
year,
of rebirth.
Right? Yeah,
yes.
Rebirth.
Yeah, some flowers are blooming.
Rebirth, or we say reincarnation. Is that reincarnation? Something? The same with rebirth. There's a word for that.
Reincarnation?
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation?
Reincarnation. Something about the Jesus, like was born again.
Yeah. You could say reincarnation, like the Buddhist idea of reincarnation.
Reincarnation, guys.
Yes.
I'm still struggling with that word.
It's a tough one.
Thanks,
There's a lot of syllables.
For fixing me. Yeah. For correcting me.
Yeah.
Guys. So when someone try to help you to be try to nitpick your
I'm nitpicking
your mistake, and then you can use. So you should say the word. He tried to correct me, not fix. So I tend to use the word fix, but fix only for things like equipment, right?
Yeah. You fix a bike.
Yeah, but we don't say fix me.
Or you could say fix you a meal. Like it also
fix me a meal.
Yeah. So you could fix. you would use typically for like, you know, you're gonna fix your car, you're gonna fix your bike, like you're gonna mend something like mechanical typically. But you could also say like, let me fix you up a sandwich, or let me fix you some breakfast.
It is like very American way to
Probably
say?
pretty American.
Let me fix you a meal.
Yeah, let me fix you a meal. Yep.
Can we say, can you fix my heart? If someone suffer from the heart broken?
Can you fix my heart?
Doesn't make sense.
I feel like someone could say that and you would know what they mean, but it would be a weird question to ask.
So what would be the proper way to say?
Like how, like mend my broken heart maybe?
Yeah?
Yeah. You would say mend a broken heart.
Mend the broken heart.
Yes. And then correct would be for, you know, if someone does something that is incorrect, like, you know, if you speak in a way that is incorrect, someone could correct your grammar or correct the word that you used.
Yeah. So correct is a nice word to use in that context. Let's come to the final question. So what kind of weather is typical in your hometown?
Well,
New York.
Well,
New York is your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from that area, but
you told me that you was born there.
I was born around New York. Yeah, about an hour outside of New York.
Right. Okay, so what kind of weather is typical in your hometown?
Well, as I have already said, there are 4 seasons, and so typical weather varies depending on the time of the year. In that part of the world, in the winter, it used to be that you might get some snow. Now you get very little snow. It'll happen like 3 times a winter, but mostly it's like 5 degrees and cloudy in the winter, which is not great. And then in the spring, it is verdant and beautiful and... Verdant, yeah, like very green. Like there's a lot of... Specifically in the context of like plants. So just everything is blooming, and it's just a really lovely time to be walking around and enjoying the world around you because it's beautiful. And in the summer, it is muggy and hot. Muggy, M-U-G-G-Y, muggy. M-U-G-G-Y.
M-U-G-G-Y.
Yeah, muggy. Muggy is like hot and humid.
Hot and humid.
Yeah. So it's muggy, but you're near the beach, so you can still enjoy the water and cool down if you need to. And then in the fall, it is crisp and lovely. Yeah, it's like 10 degrees and, you know, like sunny, and yeah, it's a lovely time of year.
You sound very flirty.
Very flirty? Crisp. It's crisp.
Okay. So thanks, Dan, again for your valuable time today, and hopefully you guys can learn a lot from our chinwag. Like in English, we say like just chit chat, and then you can gain a lot through a lot of vocabulary. And like in America, you guys don't say Celsius, but you say Fahrenheit.
Yeah, well, it's a different measuring system.
Different measuring system. Let's say I often say like 22 degrees Celsius, but in your country you say like.
I mean, it's still degrees, but it's just like it's not just Fahrenheit and Celsius mean the same thing. They're totally different measurement systems.
Right.
So Fahrenheit is on a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being like, I think it's like negative 12 Celsius or something, and then 100's like 40 or 41 Celsius. So it's just like a different way of measuring temperature.
Yeah, right. So stay tuned and leave your own comment for all the answers that I gave for IELTS Speaking question part 1. And together we'll help you to correct your answers. Bye for now. Bye. Okay. Right. Right. So thanks, Dan, so much again. Don't look at me like that. Okay, now the last time we do it properly. Okay. Yeah, so thanks, Dan, so much again for your value.
Okay, I'm good.
Number 4, I believe.
Number 4, right? We have number 4
I would say... Oh, we're number 5 now, okay.
We're number 5.
I would say ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game? I think it's very literal meaning in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it? Sometimes, but I find like in it sounds really entertaining.
Quick,
It's just not academic English.
Exactly, you can't say this in an exam.
You cannot say in the IELTS exam. You cannot say in it with the examiner. We say is it.